So, I just woke up and it's basically the time of the eclipse, and I thought that I might open up to do a little channeling to just see what's been going on and if there's any messages that wants to come through at this time, because the veil is very thin during the eclipse, especially this Pisces super full moon. So I had this feeling that if I was found myself up around this time, that I would just maybe do a little channeling to see what might come through. So, Spirit, what message do you have for the collective during this eclipse that we have right now? There was a time when all things made more sense. When there wasn't so much chaos. When there wasn't so much turmoil. And during this time, there was great revelation. There was great community. There was great access to the things above and below if it was wanted. But things had a harmony. It's been a long time since we felt this on this planet. But the time will come again. This great awakening is a time of great chaos, because it helps us grow and face things that we would otherwise avoid. Rapid evolution requires intense chaos, and we are in that right now. And it may seem like everything falls apart over and over and over again. But that is because every time it falls apart, we are birthing something new over and over and over again. We are in not just the contractions of the birthing of something new, but we are crowning. We are moments away from big change. And as soon as certain events start to unfold, it's going to have a ripple effect, not just throughout the world, but throughout all possibility. And the things that we do during this time are going to have profound effects for eternity. It's easy to forget how the small things can make such a big difference. It's easy to forget that there is something bigger than at play than how the economy is doing, or what the stock market is doing, or one political game or another, or the other minutiae of everyday life that is so loud it's easy to grab all our attention. Bigger work is at play here. And remember, there is a divine orchestration going on that is intricately woven every single moment of every single day. And you are called upon to live from your heart and your intuition, and to do what is aligned for you, because you don't know what small act or what small attitude change could have such a profound effect, not just on your lives, but on the lives of those around you. We are at a very delicate moment in our transition as a species on this planet. And every one of us is being called upon to keep yourself centered and to live with integrity from your heart. If you can do these things, showing compassion to your fellow humans and animals and the planet itself around you, then we are all doing what we need to in order to lift one another up into this new world that we are about to step into. It's not just about you. It's not just about your family. This is about the continuation and the expansion of human consciousness and the human condition. There is something bigger at play here. And this supermoon, this eclipse, is a turning point, a very important one. For we are releasing at such a phenomenal a rate. Right now is a peak point, but the entire eclipse season is going to allow us to release and grow and expand into people that we didn't even know we could become. And it's going to be the foundation of something incredible. So take a moment to see where you are and what you're being called to look at. Because this is our internal chaos. This is our internal process that is being mirrored out into the external world. That is what you're being asked to contribute to bring peace into this world. It's okay that you had to do what you had to do to this point. You had certain lessons and certain experiences that you chose to have on this planet. And some people's lives are easier than others if you want to try and compare. But the truth is, we all chose this path that we are on right now, and there's a reason for it. Comparison really doesn't matter. What matters is that you are here right now. And whatever it is you're dealing with in here, this is your task, this is your mission. Because releasing what you release now, facing what you face now, expanding from this point, moving forward with the freedom of this release that is coming, is going to find you in a place where you can welcome in so much more into your life. And the more good and positive change we welcome into our life, the more we can use this time of turbulent energy for good and transmute it into something beautiful and special. There is a reason why we are here right now, and we each have a task to do. We each have something to transmute, something to experience. And where we are going, we cannot take our old baggage with us. And it's not expecting that this moment you no longer have issues. It's simply to dare to look at the part of yourself that you've been running from all this time. Or that was so wounded so early that you don't even know you're operating from that space. So notice what comes up now, because that is going to be your clues as to what you need to heal at this point. And that'll have a ripple effect in your healing journey, and other things will come up later. But this is an important time. What is reflected to you now are the things that are most important for your progression, for you to heal. So take note, because this moment won't come again. And different energies will reflect different things to you in the future, but this one is important. It's like a cascade of things are about to unfold, but you have to dare to look at what it is within that is calling and begging for your attention. Because right now will show you what it is that is holding you back, that is keeping you small, because the world needs you to expand. And everybody's doing their part. But there are some that just need a little reminder. We all share a heart space. There is a heart field on this planet. And every time somebody heals something in their heart, you heal us all. This is the collective magic that we can work on right now. Because where we are going, we need a healed heart. That's what's going to elevate us. That's what's going to allow us to transcend old patterns, old behaviors, old chaos that is coming up for release right now. Because it's time for something new. It's time for a change. The world is... The world needs a new direction, a new foundation, a new way of interaction. Our societal structures are undergoing a tremendous shift. We have this last phase of Pluto coming into Capricorn between now and mid-November. And this is going to be wiping clean these last residues within our systems and structures that no longer align, in our processes, and particularly in the way we show up in the world, our purpose. But it could be any kind of societal structure that no longer serves. And as we sweep through this last phase, there is an important process going on here on a societal level. And this eclipse happening in this phase too is also incredibly important. Because what we release now is connected to this last ingress of Pluto in Capricorn before it stays finally in Aquarius and we start something very new. And the next few years are going to be very transformative, and this eclipse is preparing us for that change, because we can't take this old wounding with us. It's our old patterns, our old structures, our ways of thinking that are being released right now in this process. But this eclipse season, which is covering part of this final ingress of Pluto, this is an incredibly important time. And don't waste it. It's okay if you need to self-care, if you need to rest, if you need to pace yourself. But if you find yourself thinking about old experiences, old wounds, or finding yourself getting triggered by something that you thought you had healed, take the time to work on it now, because the work you do now will ripple out throughout the rest of your life. And will have profound effects generationally. You have no idea how big of an impact you can have through your healing. And if we all do that together, profound shifts happen. But this change is coming whether we want to or not. If we get, dragged kicking and screaming, so be it. The universe isn't playing any games here. But some people will take longer than others. And as long as they are true to where they are in their journey and what they can handle, things are going to work out. But if you are capable of making a shift, of healing something, and you choose to ignore it, God help you, you are going to find it coming up over and over and over and over again very intensely. So this is a call to action, to heal your heart, and knowing that everybody around you is doing the same thing or being called to do the same thing. Not everyone's going to answer, and some people are going to need more time than others. There are certain situations that require a slow but steady pace. But as long as you are making progress and not avoiding, that's okay. And some talk about a bifurcation, that we're going to have two worlds or two timelines, where some people are choosing not to progress or to progress at a much slower pace, and others are choosing a rapid acceleration. That's one way to look at it. But the truth is that there is always these overlaps, and where you choose to exist in, your vibrational frequency is going to allow certain things in or out of your experience. It's not that there's a separation. It's like everything is embedded and weaved and overlapped onto one another, but you only see what you can tune into. And because we're trying to uplift as much into higher frequency, higher dimensions, we need as many people as possible working on the kind of things that keep their frequency low, and a lot of that is wounding of the heart. And so there is this need for a collective push to start healing now on a deeper and more rapid level where possible, because this is going to make a gateway, a bridge that's going to allow others who need more time to come later. But our job now is to pave the way and to start making a monumental shift in the direction of a positive change in this world. And we have to start with ourselves. It's something that's within our grasp and our control. And if we change here, the external changes, what you are able to tune into, the world that comes back at you, reflected back at you, will shift. And the more people start to tune into these higher vibrational levels of experience, the more we can encourage others to get there as well, by example and by sharing our experience and compassion and being there for one another. So do not underestimate the power of your healing. It is hugely transformative for everybody. And that is your call to action today. That is your call to action for this eclipse period, and this period while we have Pluto ingressing in Capricorn for the last time. But don't wait till the end of November to do this work. The energy is so potent now that the more work you do now, the bigger impact it's going to have in a shorter period of time. And if we can concentrate a lot of people doing this work, daring to do this work, it's like it blazes a clearer path, a clearer bridge, a stronger connection point into higher dimensional experience, higher vibrational experience, into heaven on earth. And all we have to do is dare to look at ourselves, dare to feel what we're feeling. Dare to acknowledge the inner parts of us that we don't love or don't witness, don't give time to. The parts of us that want to reintegrate. We've all had challenges on this planet. This planet is supposed to be challenging because it's how we grow. This place is a perfect place to grow as a soul. And this place has been very dense in the past. Depending on how old you are and where you've fallen, you may have seen some great shifts already in your time. And some of the newer souls that have come in, or some of the souls that have come in more recently, I should say, may not have experienced that density in this lifetime, but certainly in previous lifetimes. But they're here to change things up and show the older generations the way, because it's so easy for us to get stuck in how things used to be. But the change that we are experiencing now, profound as it is, it's a way for us to revisit these older densities that we were in, these lower densities that we were in, going back in time, and to heal that, release it, lift the vibration, heal that, release it, lift the vibration of how it was collectively back then. It's almost like we're retrospectively going back in time and healing the past by healing our wounds that are linked to the past. It's like we're trying to release density in the past so it doesn't have a hold on us in the present, so that we can step forward into the future with lighter feet, lighter energy, lifting it all up. Because the past doesn't exist anymore. It is an impression in our being, in our memory. But we have this almost collective memory. And that is what needs healing. Because when we're not holding on to how things used to be, we make room for how things could be. And how things could be is infinite potential. There is so much that we are capable of, and we haven't even scratched the surface yet. It's like as soon as we start getting pop, 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 some more people starting to clear the way, our collective imagination of what's possible is going to just expand and expand and expand. But we need those trailblazers, and we need then almost this mass exodus. Because something new is waiting to be born. But we have to properly say goodbye to the old and leave it where it should be left. And honor the lessons that we have experienced and gained and the growth that we've had. But the best way to honor that growth and expansion is to leave our wounds at the door of heaven on earth. And then step into what's truly meant for us how we're supposed to have been living, except for not, because we were supposed to have this experience. We forgot to heal, to come back, to heal and grow. And there is a cycle here, a big cycle that's playing out, and lots of little cycles within it. But the alignments that are coming into play now are so beautiful and magical and very rare. And I'm not just talking about the astrology of this place, much bigger cycles at play. So trust yourself to take this opportunity as this alignment happens of the ages. Trust that if something comes up, comes to your mind, comes into your heart space, that that's your work. And rather than just plow through with your day, give yourself some space to look at it. Why is this coming up? And even if you can't find out why and what needs healing, just witness it. Just feel it. I know there's some message there, and it will become clear if it needs to. It may just need to be felt and released and said goodbye to. It may inspire you at some point to make a shift in how you show up in the world, how you think about a situation, how you react, some behavioral pattern. It'll have its ripple effect, whether you can connect the dots or not. But don't ignore your inner world right now. It's important, and it's trying to teach you something. It's trying to help you expand. And then remember that everybody around you is doing the same thing, or could potentially be doing the same thing. And have compassion for each other, for we're all on a journey. And external looks can be deceiving, because it's what's going on in here. It's the real power right now. Take good care of yourselves. And know it's all happening for a reason. And when you start getting to the other side and it starts making sense, you'll be grateful for this time, because it's going to open up doors and experiences and profound shifts in yourself to the point where you may not even recognize yourself in a few years. Or even this world that we say we are in. So mark this point in your memory, because you're going to look back at it. Take care of yourselves. And listen to one another, for we are all mirrors for one another, and we can all be the reasons or the reflections that remind us of the things that we need to look at. There is something divine at play in everything, so let it teach you, let it guide you, let it nudge you into looking at what it is you need to look at. for it's happening for a reason. And it's okay if this is a lot. And then just take care of yourselves a little more, so that you can give it space, so you can take care of yourself as you release the old so-called you into the fray, so the new so-called you can start to come into play. I trust this message will reach who it needs to. Have a wonderful eclipse, everyone. Bye.